Um, about what I expected. Again, just watching their two closed door exhibitions against Davidson and Elon. They scored 95 against David, 104 against Elon. The game against Wisconsin the other night was very similar to this game, really, until the last 4 minutes of the game. Wisconsin really, really separated them. But in that game, you go back and look, it was 67-62 with about 6 minutes to go. So that was kind of fully what we anticipated, what we expected. Thought our guys did a good job of responding to the game pressure, which that, again, to me shows that they anticipated it being what it was. If you're not ready for that, if you have a different mindset or you think, oh, this will be easy, we'll run away from them, then when it gets tight, you kind of have that starry-eyed look like, oh, man, what's happening. But I thought our response was good. Thought we defended well all night. We just fouled too much, which is something else they do well, draw fouls. But all in all, thought we made the plays when we had to. Thought one of the bigger plays, and I don't remember the exact time stamp of it, but was when DJ Thomas got the offensive rebound and stuck it back in. I thought that was like just a huge play when we were feeling a little bit of the game pressure at that point. We had some good looks. Honor had a great look, air ball to three. Trey had some good looks, and there was just a little bit of squeeze, and thought DJ went in there and grabbed that. And ironically, it was his only rebound of the game, but it was a big one. So got to give them a lot of credit. Told our guys we know we got to keep getting better, but we're certainly not going to ever apologize for winning, and you don't get style points for dubs. So we'll take it. We'll get better. We'll get a little rest tomorrow and get a little practice, which we also need on Saturday, and then what we also need is another game on Sunday.
Coach, can you expound on your defense a little bit? You guys, Campbell was just going right into the teeth of it and going into the lane. I'm sure you expected that, but how'd you feel you combated that?
Yeah, well, I thought the first half, again, you're in front of your bench, which helps early in seasons defensively because you as a staff can communicate with your team. And I thought we did a really good job defensively in the first half. In the second half, you get away from your bench a little bit, you get a little fatigued, you get a little spread out, and you lose your gap integrity, and then you start getting driven. You're a little late on your rotations. And then, like I said, to start the half, when we did make them miss, we couldn't come up with it, which I thought was problematic as well. But a lot of times you lose your rebounding position when you're in rotations. So they drive it. Your big guy has to step up to help. They get it up on the window, and now you're having your little guys try to block out their big guys, and we just weren't physical enough in that area.
Potter had a few highlight plays tonight. Was that a glimpse of what he can be once he starts getting his feet settled?
Yeah, I thought he made some huge shots down the stretch, and what you would expect from a senior guard that led the country in threes, and made some big ones for us, and stepped to the line and made some big free throws as well. So it was good to see him respond in that moment. It was good to see us as a group collectively be able to respond to some game pressure.
Ross, how much did you do with the team yesterday?
So our day yesterday was our guys have academic requirements. They still are students. I know that gets lost. So they took care of their academics and stuff in the morning. The guys that played heavy minutes had some recovery about from 3 to 5. At 5, we met as a team. We watched about 15 minutes of film from the Mount St. Mary's game, that we thought would be applicable to this one. Then went out on the floor, stretched a little bit, got our hands on a ball, didn't really move at all, and then came back and started prepping for this one.
Overall, happy with your shot selection? Seemed like weren't a whole lot of forces, just some that didn't go down.
Yeah. I thought we had good looks. It's hard to get better than like a couple 1-footers that didn't go in, But I told Trey and Belo, I don't know if you guys if you could have ever had easier 2 points than the ones you missed tonight. But yeah, all in all, I thought our guys shared the ball well. Again, another low turnover game. 11th. We got a little clunky in the first half. I thought we got a little stagnant offensively. I got to do a better job in helping us with that. But especially in the second half, I thought we had good looks. Some went in, some didn't. But that's part of the game. And but we were able to get to the foul line ourselves, 20 of 27. It was a good number for us. Second half, we were 14 of 16 from the foul line.
Do you think, with how stagnant you were at times, do you think that's just guys getting to know each other?
Yeah, I think that's on me too, just continuing to do a better job of kind of getting to the next action. We would call like an initial action, and then just didn't have enough flow after that into what was supposed to be happening next. And some of us that, and like I said, I think these guys are, they're trying so hard on defense too. Like the old coaching adage, if you're going to rest, you want to rest on offense. And sometimes they do that too, and they just kind of leave your guards up there on an island standing and watching them.
Kind of help build confidence when you have a player like G.J. Smith-Caliber. He coming off having 4 for 10 shooting against Wisconsin, 23 points. Able to kind of shut him out with the first half. He was 0 points in the first half, then holding him to 1 for 8 shooting from deep. Does that kind of help build your team's defensive confidence, being able to limit a star player of his capability?
Yeah, he's a good player, and ironically, he played for Robert Morris last year. So the funny part is he had played as many games in this building as our team had played. 2. This was his second game, and it was our second game. And he had my full attention. And I think players all great players are very difficult to defend. But in my opinion, some of the most unique and the hardest ones to defend are like smaller guards that have the ball in their hand and have the ability to make threes off the bounce. Because, if it's a really good post player, you can double them if you want. You can dig. You can deny some other players. But those little guys up top, when they have the ball, and, he'd been really good in all their exhibition games and came in. If you put those two together and the game the other night, you said he was averaging about 25, 26. So he had our full attention. And, Jasper wasn't great offensively, but he was chasing him around a lot. And guarded him, and I thought we did a good job against them.
Coach, your first 2 games now, basically 2 games that, 5-6 minutes left, it's a game. People can look at the opponent and the conference or whatever they play in. Are there more pluses than minuses in that statement that you had to make plays down the stretch in these 2 games?
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that from the onset. I'm certainly never going to apologize for winning. Winning's hard. Winning one game is hard. All you got to do is look around the country, and you'll see they lost to them. And so certainly not going to apologize for that. We know we have to get better. We know we're far from a finished product. We know we have this stretch of kind of like 5 games and 13, 14 days, and so we know as a group, man, we're going to have to find ways to win them. It's not always going to be we're not experienced enough as a group. You're playing a couple young guys in their first college basketball game, so we're not at the point where we're just going to run away from people. But there's also clear parts in the game that you can point to and learn from and say, hey, if we did this a little bit better in these specific situations, you can get the separation that you're looking for.
Points in the paint tonight, concern at all?
Well, that's what they do. That's what they do, and again, that's part of their philosophy. That's part of their philosophy. They can drive the ball from multiple positions. It's more of a 5 out, as good as 13 is. When he gets the ball deep, he's also on the perimeter a lot, and so you are spread out. Like I said, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was in the first half. Points in the paint, because I thought we guarded I thought we guarded more the way we were supposed to in the first half. Fouled a little bit too much, but in the second half, I thought we got spread out and they were able to drive us. They weren't able to drive us as much in the first half. So it's just it's about again getting down on that end. It's the 5 guys out there, and they've got to be able to communicate to each other. We had some miscommunications on our ball screens. Some guys got over the top when they weren't supposed to, and just you get spread out, and you had good drivers. They're good drivers.
Is rebounding going to be a big emphasis before you get to this Lehigh game, or is that something that you think will just work itself out?
I don't think anything will just work itself out. It's always a big emphasis, and again, there's excuses and there's reasons. I'm never gonna be an excuse maker, but 2 of our better rebounders are sitting in street clothes, and 2 of your bigger guys. And so getting them back will certainly help. And then guarding the ball will help. Again, like I said, a good majority of the offensive it wasn't like we gave up offensive rebounds, many, that we kept the ball in front of us, made them shoot a perimeter jumper. Everybody was intact. A lot of the times was the penetration collapsing your defense, and now everybody's mushed. Everybody's just under the basket, and you're getting out jumped or you're getting pushed under. So some of it is just guarding the basketball better.
Ross, the way they drive, it can be a dangerous team to really press up on too much. Do you think you could have pressured the ball better? Were you trying to lay back a little bit? It didn't seem like you were quite as tight maybe as you were on Tuesday.
Yeah, and like I said, we got spread out. We got spread out in the second half, and some of it is just like, some of it is execution, some of it is the offense manipulating your defense to get spread out. And then because there is some gray area with the way that we want to defend, and there's some thinking that's involved, and you're still playing a lot of guys that are still fully trying to grasp, besides two of them, like Belo and Jasper are a little different. Like Belo can, whatever the coverage is supposed to be, he can spit it out of his mouth like right away. If it's a blue or a red or ice, it just like comes out. Well, some of those guys takes a half second to get the coverage out of their mouth. Now he's over the top. Now the guy that thought the other coverage was supposed to be isn't where he is, and they're shooting a layup at your basket.
Ross, how do you balance celebrating these early wins when realizing, like, hey, we still need to work on a bunch of things because it's going to get a hell of a lot harder coming in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, we're always going to celebrate W's. I'm not ever going to be like, winning's hard. Winning is hard. And I don't take it for granted. So I'm not going to be looking at this. And again, I respect those guys because I've been those guys. And I've been those guys, and I've came in these buildings, and I've won before. And I've had, so we're not going to, but our players also know, and I also know we got to get way better, like way, way better. I mean, that is the goal. You want to be playing your best basketball in March, and you want to be playing hopefully into April. So that's a while from now, and what you got to try to do is you got to try to find a way to win games early when you're not playing your best. And it's going to be a while before we play our best. We have moments, we have stretches, but you're going to be looking for consistency, and some of it's consistency from individual players playing better collectively, and some of it is our team playing better, and some of it is me coaching better and having more experience coaching this group.
One of an early trend, I guess, when you have those long timeouts, immediate timeouts, it seems like Brennan kind of becomes your guy or option coming out of those timeouts, and obviously he had a couple big plays coming out of timeouts today. Is he like the first option?
He can be. I mean, I think we have, again, that's the beauty of it. You kind of have a couple different ones. I mean, Honor had made some big shots at that moment, so you're kind of like, there's some anticipation of what they may be thinking that you're going to be thinking, and what, and so you kind of think like, well, they're going to probably be better really close to him. They're not going to leave him, and if he can just turn the corner enough, then you saw the result of that.
And then his block shots, 5. I don't know if he's ever had 5.
Yeah, he's I kind of say about him, he's an elite athlete amongst elite athletes, and again, we need that, in particular with the lineups that we're having to play now. His length and can help make up for some of the lack of length that you're missing with Chance and Jackson. But, you expect him to impact the game in a lot of different ways, not just scoring.
What are some of the most positive things you have taken away in 2 games without Chance and Jackson?
We've played 80 minutes of basketball, and we've led for like 79 of them, which is pretty positive. We have felt game pressure, like real legit game pressure, which is, as you guys know, sometimes the biggest pressure you can feel is if you are in the minds of a lot of people supposed to win, and this is supposed to be what it is, and you can, when those games get close, it can flip on you, and we haven't allowed it to get to that point. We've made whatever the play was, a big offensive rebound, a big shot from Honor, a big block. We've been able to respond, and there hasn't been much panic amongst the group. So, and we've been able to, that you mentioned, we've been able to execute some things late clock that you drew up on the board and you took it to the floor, and we were able to execute those things in a tight space. And both situations, you were able to make free throws down the stretch.
Ross, start the second half. Sounds like you were okay with defense, maybe not okay with rebounding. Like
at halftime, or just start. Yeah, I thought the start of the first half, our first shot defense was pretty good, if you recall. Second half. To start the second half, I thought our first shot defense was pretty good, but Zero was whipping our tail on the glass. And he didn't start the game, but 11 had 3 fouls, so they inserted him, and he really made his presence felt on the offensive glass. But I thought during that first stretch, I thought we guarded them well. We just couldn't keep them off the glass.
Speaking back on free throws, does it kind of help build confidence after kind of shooting not the best against Mount St. Mary, going 23 for 35, and then having like Brenton Laurent and Hunter Huff going combined 17 for 20 from the free throw line? Does it kind of help build your confidence in them?
I have a lot of confidence in them because I see the work they put in. And again, I've seen, like, if you're a career 77% foul shooter and you miss a couple one night, like, more often than not, you're going to come back and answer that. And I see the work they put in, and so like I said, I wasn't overly concerned with that, and seeing both those guys, I've seen them step up to the foul line and make big free throws in a lot of different situations. But it was good to see them again with game pressure, with that little bit of like, okay, like, and Belo stepped up and made those 1-on-1s. I thought was big.
It feels like for the first 2 games, you all have been kind of stagnant at the start of both of them. First half during Mount St. Mary's, kind of spin the tires, and then the same with the second half this week, or today. How do you try to ignite the team better, or I guess ignite it?
I think some of it, it's all different situations. I thought in the first half, today, midway through the first half, I thought we did get stagnant. To start the half, this game, I thought Trayson Eaglestaff had a wide open shot from the top of the key. Honor had a wide open shot that he missed. You know what I mean? We missed a couple bunnies around the rim. Like, that's not stagnant. That's more like just shots not going in and maybe pressing a little bit. You'd have to ask those guys. But I think in those stretches when we do get a little bit stagnant, as a coach, I've got to do a better job of, even just if it's a little false motion, just to get the ball going a little bit.
Of course, DJ, true freshman, scored 10 points today. What do you think that means to him and the team as a whole, getting a freshman that many points?
Yeah, I mean, DJ and Amir, I thought Amir played good in the first half. I told the staff at halftime we probably should have played Amir a little bit more in the first half. But both those guys are just so mature for their age. It's kind of like a reoccurring message that you're going to hear from me. And DJ has such a calm demeanor, and he's not really rattled. And just like I said, he made that was a huge play. I mean, I think they maybe cut it to 4, and we were sputtering a little bit, and we were pressing and missing easy shots, and he went and got that rebound and stuck it back in. I thought that was a big play, man. Probably the play of the game.
Coach, thank you.
All righty. Thank y'all. Y'all be safe on the way home.